They all betrayed me. Now they watch me win from afar. I, 29F, never thought I'd be the kind of woman who would one day have to pick herself up from the ruins of her marriage and family, all at once. But here I am, and I need to share this not for sympathy, but because I know there are others like me. Girls who were taught to endure instead of fight. Girls who were told love meant sacrifice, even if it meant sacrificing themselves. Let's rewind. I married R when I was 23. We had been together since our college days. One of those golden couples people envy. He was charming, respectful, in public, and made everyone laugh. My parents adored him. They would literally call him more than they called me, and praised him as the son they never had. From the beginning there were cracks. Small ones. A message from an unknown girl here, a sudden canceled plan there. But every time I questioned something, I was made to feel paranoid. You're overthinking. He's a guy. They joke like that. Why don't you trust him? And then the killer. He's such a good man. Don't push him away with your insecurities. I believed them. I wanted to believe them, because what was the alternative? That the life I had built, the future I dreamed of, was all fake. Then came Dee, my cousin. We'd grown up together. She was my childhood playmate, my closest friend before marriage, and practically lived at our house after it. She helped with wedding preparations, took selfies with me in my bridal dress, and even cried when I left for my in-laws' place. But she didn't stop visiting. In fact, she was always around. I remember one night I came home early from work. I had taken the stairs because the elevator was under maintenance, and I heard it, soft laughter. Hers. And then, R's voice, calling her by a pet name I didn't know he used. I walked in. Nothing inappropriate, just the two of them eating ice cream on our couch, watching a movie. She was in my nightwear. When I asked, or joked, she spilled something on hers. Don't overreact. I did overreact, but I also swallowed it. Again. Fast forward 3 years. My father-in-law passed away. I took care of all the rituals while I was too stressed, and Dee was helping him grieve. I should have seen the signs, but I was emotionally drained. Grief does that. It fogs your instincts. Months later I found it. An old Android phone we'd once used as a hotspot. I was cleaning drawers and found it dead and dusty. I charged it just out of habit and curiosity. I didn't expect it to work, but it did. And it had no lock. Inside were WhatsApp chats between R and D dating back years. Dirty texts. Secret vacations disguised as work trips. Photos of them in my home while I was away visiting my parents. She wore my clothes, sat on my side of the bed. There was one voice message I'll never forget. R said, "Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like if I had married you instead." She's so plain, so serious. I feel trapped. That broke me, but I wasn't done. I decided to gather proof, because I knew no one would believe me otherwise. I printed everything. Screenshots, photos, voice messages transcribed. I even got location data from Google Timeline history that proved they were together on nights they lied to me. Then I confronted him. He didn't deny it. He didn't even flinch. Just said, "You're not exciting anymore. Dee listens to me. You're always too tired or too moody." I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. This was the man I loved. The man I sacrificed my dreams for. I had once considered giving up my career to have his child. And this is what I got. When I told my parents, shaking, crying, they were silent. Then my mother said, "You must have failed somewhere, Beta. R is a man. These things happen. What matters is your family. Your marriage." My father told me to think of our reputation. My brother told me not to make a scene. They said I should stay, that I was too old to start over, that no one would marry me again if I left, that I'd ruin Dee's future too, as if I was the problem. That was the moment it all shattered. My husband had cheated on me. My cousin had stabbed me in the back. My parents had turned their faces away, and I was completely, heartbreakingly alone. But here's the thing about hitting rock bottom. There's only one way left to go, and I decided I would rise, not to show them, not for revenge, for me. Update 1. The clean break. Rock bottom isn't the end. If you read my first post, you know how I found out about my husband's years-long affair with my cousin, and how my own family stood by them instead of me. I was left betrayed, alone, and emotionally wrecked. But here's the part no one talks about. Leaving isn't cinematic. It's not one angry suitcase pack and go scene. It's quiet, it's terrifying, and it's filled with grief. Not just for the person you lost, but the person you used to be. Still, I did it. Woman running the escape. The day after the confrontation, I took a backpack and left the house we built together. It wasn't some empowered movie moment. I was shaking the whole time, but I knew if I stayed even one more day, I'd break in ways I wouldn't come back from. I went to a friend's place, the one person who had always quietly supported me. She didn't say, "I told you so." She just made me tea, held me while I sobbed, and said, "You don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore." That night, I slept on a mattress on her floor. It was the best sleep I'd had in months. Balance scale, filing for divorce. The shame games. Within a week, I met with a lawyer. It took every ounce of strength to walk into that office. My hands were shaking. I was terrified of the paperwork, of the money, of the shame my family said I'd bring. But the lawyer was kind and thorough. She looked at all the printed screenshots and simply said, "You've got more than enough. We'll file under mental cruelty and adultery." I tried calling me several times. I didn't pick up. Then came the real storm. Firecracker, the fallout. My parents called, screamed, cried, begged, then accused. They said things like, "You're being selfish. You're ruining the family name. You'll be alone forever. What will people say?" My mother even said, and I'll never forget this, "You could have at least waited until after D and R got married." Let that sink in. She was still choosing them. My siblings didn't speak to me. My father told me he was cutting me off from the family will and asked me to never show my face at home again. Fine, I thought. Let them erase me. I'd rather be invisible than shackled. Abacus life with 46,000 Indian rupees and a laptop. I moved to a small city, far away from the gossip, the drama, the shame. R had emptied our joint account, so all I had was 46,000 Indian rupees in savings, a cheap second-hand laptop, and my skills as a content writer. I rented a bed space in a women's hostel. For girls, to a room. No AC. Sometimes cold water. But I was safe. And more importantly, free. I took up freelance gigs. At first, I was earning 300 Indian rupees per article. I worked 12 to 14 hours a day. I would write for American websites while my roommates slept, then attend local marketing webinars during the day. I ate Maggie for dinner. I cried often. But slowly, something incredible happened. I started to rebuild. Not my image, not my family's expectations, but me. Seedling tiny seeds of growth. One client turned into 2, then 5. I reinvested everything into online courses. Branding, SEO, content strategy, client pitching. I soaked it all up. My client list grew. My confidence grew. My scars started turning into calluses. Every time I wanted to give up, I would remember the look on my mother's face when she told me to forgive my husband. That memory burned. But instead of letting it destroy me, I let it fuel me. It's been 9 months since the day I walked out. I'm not healed. I still get panic attacks sometimes. I still flinch when the phone rings with a number I don't recognize. I still mourn the family I thought I had. But I'm no longer broken. I'm rebuilding, brick by painful brick. And one day soon, I'll show you what I've made. Stay tuned. Update 2. From freelancer to founder. The rise begins. It's been 18 months since I left the marriage that was quietly killing me. 9 months since I left behind my family who chose shame over their daughter's soul. And today, I am no longer surviving. I'm building. This update isn't about revenge, though karma is brewing. Don't worry, relieved face. This is about what happened when I decided to stop proving myself to those who betrayed me, and instead, started proving something to me. Laptop computer from 300 Indian rupees articles to clients in 6 countries. When I started freelancing, I was writing content for peanuts, blog posts for shady affiliate sites, SEO articles for companies I'd never heard of, and landing pages for awkwardly translated brands. But every job I took, I gave my 100%. I rewrote pieces without complaint. I studied my clients' industries. Slowly, I gained trust. One client turned into 2, then 4. Then I was booked out. I raised my rates. I bought a used iPhone to shoot content. I redesigned my portfolio. I started getting DMs on LinkedIn from people asking if I could help them build a personal brand too. And that's when it hit me. I could do more than just write for others. I could build a business. Brain turning pain into purpose. There are hundreds, no thousands, of women like me. Talented, educated, hardworking, but written off because of one thing: divorce, shame, family politics, or simply being too much in a man's world. So I started reaching out. I posted in small Facebook groups. I joined women-only freelancer communities. I said, if you've got writing or design skills, I'll train you in content marketing. No degree needed, just discipline. 3 women replied, then 7. Within 3 months, I had a remote team of 9 women. Every one of them had a story like mine. Abandoned, divorced, emotionally abused, or written off by their families. We called ourselves Rewrite, because that's exactly what we were doing. Rewriting our lives, our worth, our future. Briefcase Rewrite, my agency, my pride. Fast forward to now. We have 14 women working part-time and full-time. Our clients include small brands in the US, Singapore, and Dubai. We provide content, social strategy, branding, and ghostwriting. We teach each other, lift each other, and never apologize for taking up space. I pay salaries that allow some of these women to leave toxic homes, save for their kids' education, and pay their own rent. That, more than anything, is my real wealth. And all of this started in a 4-bed hostel room with a 999 Indian rupees geodongle and a broken heart. As karma comes knocking. Now let's talk about the juicy part, because yes, karma is a real thing. A few weeks ago, I got an email from an old Gmail ID. I almost deleted it until I saw the name. My cousin. She said she was looking for work and had heard I now ran a content agency. Her tone was humble, desperate even. Apparently, I had left her just 3 months after their engagement. Why? Because she got pregnant, and he denied the child was his. Poetic, isn't it? He's now with someone younger, richer. She, meanwhile, was working retail and trying to freelance to survive. She asked if I could give her a chance. I didn't reply, not because I wanted revenge, but because I'm not her savior. She threw me to the wolves when I needed help. Now she can learn how to walk through the fire alone like I did. Telephone receiver and my parents? They saw the LinkedIn post about Rewrite going viral. My face was on a digital magazine cover with the headline, "She built an agency from a hostel bed. The CEO who started from Betrayal." My mother texted me for the first time in over a year. "We always knew you'd do something big. Come home sometime. Let's talk." I didn't block her, but I left it on read, because I no longer crave their pride or their guilt. My silence speaks louder now. I'm not done. I'm still building. But every morning, when I look in the mirror, I no longer see the scared, betrayed girl with red eyes and a cracked voice. I see a woman with fire in her eyes and peace in her heart. Update 3. National recognition, closure, and the moment I didn't expect. 2 years ago, I was packing my entire life into a single backpack. Today, I stood on a stage, holding a glass award that read, Emerging Woman Entrepreneur of the Year, Rewrite Content Company. It was surreal, but the wildest part? It wasn't the lights, the camera clicks, or the press interviews that overwhelmed me. It was what happened after. Trophy, let me tell you about the award. There were hundreds of women at the event. All founders, creators, disruptors. I felt like an imposter at first. Me? The girl who once cried herself to sleep on a hostel mattress? But then they played a short video introducing Rewrite, our mission to uplift women who've been discarded by society. I had no idea they'd found footage of our team's first Zoom meeting, screenshots of client reviews, even testimonials from 2 of our team members. I cried. Publicly. The big ugly tears kind. Not out of pride. Out of relief. I had made it out. And I hadn't just survived. I had changed lives. Television then came the unexpected. The interview. After the event, I was invited to a panel for a women's business podcast. A YouTube show with over 1M subscribers. We were talking about hardship, family rejection, and second chances. And then the host asked, "What would you say to someone who betrayed you? If they're watching right now?" I froze. I knew I might see this. D2. Even my parents, someone always sends things back home. I took a deep breath and said, "I'd say thank you. Because when you burned my world down, you gave me the chance to build something better, brick by brick. For me. I don't hate you anymore. I just don't carry you with me. And that's the best peace I've ever known." Mobile phone with arrow the fallout again. That clip went viral. Comments flooded in. From women, men, even teenagers who said they'd been through the same. Then, the DMs started. Speech balloon from a random ID. "He did the same to me. I didn't know there was someone before me. It was from another woman." Or had apparently repeated the cycle. Love bomb. Cheat. Disappear. She saw the interview and recognized the timeline. She said he borrowed money from her. Lied about his career. She's filing a police complaint. Speech balloon my aunt, D's mother. Beta, please talk to D. She is depressed. She talks about ending her life sometimes. Please help her. I responded once. She has a family. She made her choices. She can reach out to a therapist. I am not her undo button. I meant it. I can empathize with someone's pain, without rescuing the person who helped destroy me. Family and my parents? A letter arrived a few days later. Yes, a physical letter. My dad had written it. His handwriting was shaking, or maybe he was. "We failed you. Your mother and I, we chose what was comfortable, not what was right. I don't know if you can ever forgive us. But please know we see you now, and we are proud." There was a photo inside. It was of me on stage holding the award. Clipped from a newspaper. My dad had written under it, "Our daughter, the one who rose from ashes." I cried. And for the first time, I didn't cry for the girl they abandoned. I cried for the woman I had become, without them. Railway track, where I am now. A rewrite now has 27 women working across 5 time zones. We offer a 6-week mentorship program for survivors of divorce, domestic abuse, and toxic families. We've helped 11 women become full-time freelancers, some even starting their own micro-agencies. And next month, I'm giving my first TEDx talk. Yes, me. The girl they said would never find another man. The girl they said was too emotional, too plain, too difficult. I don't need another man. I found me. And she was worth everything. Update 4 Full circle. From burned bridges to building homes. 3 years ago, I was curled up in a corner of a hostel, clutching my laptop like a lifeline, wondering how I'd ever start over. Today, I walked through the gates of a building that didn't just carry my name, it carried my purpose. Let me tell you how we got here. House introducing Nivriti, the home I wish I had. I always said if I ever made it, really made it, I'd create the one thing I desperately needed when I was at rock bottom. A safe space. So I did. Nivriti, which means a place of inner peace, is a co-living and co-working space for women recovering from betrayal, divorce, abandonment, or emotional trauma. It's not a shelter. It's a launchpad. We offer temporary stays for up to 6 months. On-site therapy, skill-building classes, financial literacy workshops. And for those who want it, internships and freelance opportunities through Rewrite. It's run by the very women who helped build me. My team. My tribe. Every wall in Nivriti holds a story of someone who refused to stay broken. Love letter R. The final thread. He messaged me again. After years of silence, his text said, "I'm sorry. I messed up everything. I see what you've built. I don't expect forgiveness. But I wish you'd talk to me." I didn't respond. I had no anger, no desire to yell, no fantasy of revenge. Just nothing. And that was my victory. When someone no longer has the power to make your heart race. Not with love, not with rage, you've won. That's healing. DNA family, what we choose. My mother visited Nivriti last month. She walked through the quiet halls, the kitchen, the community board with pinned job leads and birthday cards. She didn't say much. But before leaving, she turned to me and said, "You built a better home than we ever gave you." I didn't cry. I nodded. And for the first time I felt beyond them, beyond needing their approval. I didn't need an apology to know I was right. Some bridges don't need rebuilding. Some roots are best replanted elsewhere. Sunrise and finally, love. I didn't think I'd ever say this. But yes, there is someone. We met through a women-led entrepreneurship retreat. He was volunteering for a design mentorship program. He never asked about my past. Just listened, encouraged, held space. He's kind, steady, and doesn't flinch at my independence. In fact, he respects the fire in me. Says he doesn't want to dim it. Just sit by it and keep it burning. We're taking it slow. Because this time, I'm not rushing to prove I'm lovable. I already know I am. Of what I've learned. If you're reading this while heartbroken, betrayed, discarded, listen closely. They may have broken you. They may have left you to bleed. But that doesn't mean your story ends here. You are not your rock bottom. You are what rises from it. I lost a husband. I lost a family. But I found a world. And I built one where women like me will never have to choose silence over survival again. I am not just living. I am leading. Thank you for walking this journey with me. This chapter closes here, but the book is still being written. One life, one voice, one rise at a time. Speech balloon if anyone needs help, mentorship, or just a place to scream and not be judged. My inbox is always open. A girl who was once left behind, but never stayed there. Blue Heart. Thank you for stepping into another tale with me. Every story unlocks a different world, and I'm glad you were here for the journey. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my stories Unchained, where every ending is just the beginning of another adventure. Until next time, keep your mind open and your heart ready for the next story, Unchained.